Welcome back to another Warframe video. How are we all? I nearly forgot the name of the game I was playing then. I'm getting a little bit tired now, so forgive me. Today we're going to take a look at the Panthera Prime. Panthera? However you pronounce it. Swordblade Launcher Prime. Now I've never actually used the normal version. This is the first time I'm ever using this weapon. So forgive me if there's any faction mods for it or anything specific like that. I don't know. There might be a faction mod for these, a syndicate mod, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't know. If there's any other specific mods that make this weapon 1,000 times better, I don't know about them, so I don't know. So forgive me, let me know if there is or not. I don't know if they make the weapon better or worse. There might be one that reduces bubbles. I think that might be for Panthera, but I don't know. But yeah, this is the newest Prime weapon to come out with the game, and this might be the most underhyped Prime event. Like, they literally announced it two days ago before they released it. I don't know what they're doing with their Prime schedule, but it's fucking boring, and I think they need to sort it out. Like, they didn't even announce there would be a Prime until like literally 3 days before. Like, come on, where's the fucking hype? Build up some hype. You not remember when they used to release trailers for this shit and get everybody hyped up for the new frames and shit like that, and now they're just dropping them. Come on, DE. Come on, fucking DE, do your shit, come on. So I've got two builds today. The standard one, which you'll see in a second. And then I've got one that I use in my day-to-day corrupted missions, because I'm using a Bane mod in it. And, yeah, I don't have a riven for this weapon, so this video should hopefully be a little bit quicker than the rest of them. So it's a sword blade launcher, like I said. It bounces off of walls. It's super cool. You can aim with it. It's, yeah, it's very cool. I don't know what it's got to do with an Horus, but apparently they thought an Horus would be a good weapon frame for it. So, I don't know if you'd call that an explosion, but like, if I stand too close, it knocks me back, which is super annoying. So, whatever you call that, it happens. And it does also have a secondary fire, which is like a saw blade on a lead. It's this. So that doesn't take away any ammo until you actually hit an enemy. So I'm going to guess that's a saw blade by the sound. As you will see, this is what produces the best bleed numbers. It's just super inconvenient to use on controller because I have to hold down the aim button and the movement button and then try and look around without having full hand control. So it's not the easiest to use. But it is incredibly powerful. So those bleed numbers are nothing to laugh at. It's 26k bleed damage, so yeah, it's a very powerful weapon. It is super cool. I quite enjoyed this weapon. Like I was saying to the missus earlier that I was like, yeah, you know what, this could be a gun that gets used more often now. But what do you class it as? Do you class it as a gun? I don't know. But yeah, it was super fun to level up. I actually killed a lich with this weapon, so it has that potential to punch up a little bit. I don't know how easy it is to get from relics because I bought my Prime Access, mainly for the platinum. That's what I normally buy my Prime Access for, you know. I need the platinum. Do you know how much former I buy? Too fucking much. Go and farm it. No, I need the Prime parts to sell for fucking barrels, so I can't just go out and farm former. I'm not rich. So yeah, it's incredibly fun, incredibly powerful, and it's quite unique, you know. I think, like I said, I think this is the first saw bladey launcher that's been released, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And can we take a moment to appreciate how sexy my Garuda is? You're welcome. Definitely the fittest frame in the game. She's looks beautiful. So this is the standard build I use. This is a build anybody can get. Full format is really just because I did, you know, I think 4 is a pretty standard number for weapons. You can pretty much get away with that, but with this I believe you could get away with 3. It comes with 1 V already, and then I've just formed in 4 more Vs. Just makes life a little bit easier, and it's easier for testing and things like that. I don't like overforming weapons because I just can't be dealing with leveling them up so much. It gets boring after a while. So think 3 former and you'd be safe. You'd have 4 Vs and that's probably going to be enough for you. So I'm using Serration for damage, 100 munitions for slash on a crit, point strike, vital sense for crit chance, crit damage, split chamber and vigilante armaments for multi-shot, and then rhyme rounds and malignant force for a viral. So this weapon has an okay crit chance, 45% with point strike. It is a bit of a pain. If you have Argon Scope, I would recommend it. I would stick Argon Scope in place of vigilante armaments. But you've seen from the gameplay, it's not incredibly massive. It doesn't make a huge difference. So if you don't have Argon Scope, I know a lot of people, I tend to avoid Argon Scope just because I don't know everyone has it. But if you can aim, see, that'll buff your crit chance up and you'll be getting a lot more slashes. So it does make a difference. It's not massive. You can get away without using it, but you'll see you're going to produce a lot more slashes with Argon Scope, as you can see. I don't have to shoot as much. I do have to aim to get the buff, but it's really not that much. So if you've got it, I would recommend that. As you can see, he'll just bleed out from that. But if you don't have it, use vigilante armaments. It's not going to kill you, but I would say get Argon Scope as quick as you can, because it will make this weapon a little bit better. And that is that. So 2 builds there for standard. If you guys would like to use any of them, you may. Now the build I use, do not come uncharged, you twat. I hate this. I hate when controllers. This cable doesn't stick in, so it falls out quite often, and it needs charging. So this is the build I run for my, I suppose, my endurance runs. I've never actually done an endurance one with this weapon yet. I haven't had the time. I've been doing other things, and there's been a couple of events come out, and we've been playing other games, so I've not had the time yet. Sue me. So I'm going to use Serration, Bane of Corrupted. That's going to bug me. Split Chamber for multi-shot, 100 munitions, point strike, vital sense, malignant force, and rhyme rounds. That's pretty much the build I will run on my, like I said, if I was to do an endurance one, which I will do at some point with this weapon, this is what I'd use. I'm going to assume that rivens for this weapon have completely shot up in price, because that's what tends to happen with rivens for, primed weapons that aren't out yet. Like a Panthera riven before this, I would assume would be pennies. But now I'm going to assume that it's going to be incredibly expensive, because people tend to overprice rivens when they first come out, because people are fucking idiots. It would not surprise me. Oh yeah, 400 plat for this? Yeah, no, you're right, mate. Fuck off. Go scam some kids. I fucking hate buying rivens in this game. People are actually stupid. So that was with no buffs, no passive buffs, no arcanes, none of that. And you can see from all of that, it's pretty decent. It's, yeah. With Ash passive, because I know a lot of people were whining about this making a massive difference, which it doesn't. Oh shit, I probably should show you what this as well. It's going to do loads of, it did loads of damage with the build before, so it does a load more damage when I'm doing 50% bonus damage to Corrupted. So it is a bit of a stat spreader as well, because of those explosions, or whatever would you call these explosions? I guess they are explosions. That does spread stats as well, so it's not massive. When you're hitting things with slashing, I need to strip armor. It's not, the slashes are tiny. But it's something else. Like I said, if you're using a condition overload weapon, that's probably going to make a bit of a difference to you. As you can see, if I just shoot the floor here, what have we got there? 10 and 10. So that's the slash when I'm not hitting him. It's not awful. It's under halved him. I did about 2/3 of his health without actually hitting him. So that's not bad. It's not a bad weapon at all, and it sounds super cool as well. I like the way this gun sounds. But as for farming it, how bad it is, I don't actually know, because I haven't haven't farmed it, so it should be worth farming now because it'll probably go for a load of money. And then I should need to use this. As you can see, if you want to do a stupid amount of bleed damage, 25k. So that ult fire is pretty cool. It's just, I don't know how much of a radius it has. I don't know how far that actually goes, like distance wise. I don't know. It will probably tell you on the wiki. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. I've not sat there and measured the distance between hits and things like that. I don't know. I'm going to say between 5 and 15 meters because that's safe. It's got to be within that threshold because I don't know. Yeah, as you can see with Wisp, it's not bad. It's not awful for a change. That's pretty decent. It's not incredible. But, you know, I love the way this sounds when it hits them. 66k bleed. Because you can. So yeah, with Wisp it's pretty decent. It's not awful. And then I'm going to use good old Mirage, but I'm going to chuck on every buff known to man because I fucking can. No, I don't want to Surge. So this is getting every buff. I'm getting Vigilante buffs, Arcane buffs, Mirage buffs. This is with everything. Oh yes. Oh yes. So yeah, it is pretty good with everything. But like I said, I'm getting every buff known to man. I'm getting all the damage buffs, all the crit damage buffs, and the fire rate buff from whatever the arcane's called. I can never remember the name of it. $110k on a crit. That's mad. I love Mirage so much. Still think she's underused. So yeah, it is pretty decent. If you guys want this Mirage build, there is a video on the channel somewhere. I always say I'll try and link them in the comments and I never fucking do, so don't hold me to it, but it's on the channel if you are interested. It's there somewhere. So again, Serration, Bane of Corrupted, Split Chamber, Hunting Munitions, Point Strike, Vital Sense, Malignant Force, and Rhyme Rounds. This is a build I would use if I was going against Corrupted. Obviously if I'm doing like an Infested Arbitration, that will get swapped out for Bane of Infested instead. Heavy Caliber I don't recommend using on this weapon because it spreads out these saw blades, so as you can see, you know, that the spread is pretty decent, but the second I chuck on Heavy Caliber, it does go a bit all over the place. This is one of the few weapons where I don't use Heavy Caliber. As you can see, look at that. Some of them aren't even hitting the wall, so I don't recommend Heavy Caliber for this weapon. But if you're a close range player, if you're playing a Naros Prime and you know damage is completely, you don't take any damage at all. HP Prime, as the video I've released is called. Yeah, it's not really worth using unless you are right in their face. But I would much rather recommend, I'd much rather use a Corrupted mod over Heavy Caliber anyway. So there you guys go. Leave a like if you did enjoy that, dislike if you didn't for whatever reason. Let me know in the comments section if there was something I missed. Like I said about Syndicate mods and faction mods and things like that, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever used a Panthera. I've never used a normal version, so there's that. Rivens, if you've got decent Rivens, let us know. If it's worth going out and getting, let me know. Subscribe if you are new around here, much appreciate it. Comment said that. Links to my socials and things like that are in the description if you are interested. If not, don't worry, I don't use all of them that much. Like always, it's been your boy Acid, and I'll catch you cunts later.